The newest film in the Jurassic Park franchise, Jurassic World Rebirth, has made it to theaters. This concludes my review series for the Jurassic Park franchise.
The nightmares. They're finally over.
And when it comes to Rebirth itself, is it any good? This video contains spoilers. Before I hop into the review, keep in mind this is just my opinion. Share what you think about the movie in the comments section down below. And without any further ado, let's hop right into it. So this has a super straightforward plot where it's basically about a team going on a mission to extract blood from dinosaurs so they can make medicine for heart disease or whatever. And kind of the original intention is to do it for money, but one of the characters just wants to have everyone have medicine for free in the world. So they kind of change their mind on that towards the end. And really the only thing that adds any bit of complexity to this plot is the fact that there's this random family that's on their boat or whatever that gets attacked by a dinosaur, is picked up by the good guys on the ship, and then winds up on the island with them but separated. And so you're going back and forth between that family and the other characters, just with different sequences of both groups being attacked by dinosaurs. To put it simply, this movie doesn't really do anything that deeply offends me, but it also doesn't impress me or blow my mind that much. It's just another adventure with characters on an island.
Alright. I said, alright.
And this just kind of follows the same formula as all the movies in this franchise, making it extremely predictable. You know which characters will die and won't. You know who they're kind of setting up as the villain. Although I will say, for having all new characters, they actually were pretty compelling. So of course you have Scarlett Johansson's character and Mahershala Ali's character as well. Both have tragic pasts or whatever, and I do feel like they kind of missed an opportunity where they could have just introduced you to those characters before diving into their past, and waited to do a flashback or plot exposition until later on when you're already invested in them. But anyways, whatever, there's this nerd guy in this movie who actually is a pretty good character. Because while he is very intelligent, he's physically not on the same level as the other characters. But it's also not done in a way where he really makes the mission go wrong. I was kind of thinking it would turn him into this character where he's just super stupid and he just drags the team down. But the movie didn't really do that. He served his purpose. And then as I mentioned, there's the family kind of on the adventure. You have the dad, the little girl, and then the teenage girl, along with her boyfriend, who's actually the standout character. He's a lot funnier than I was expecting. He might be the best character in the whole Jurassic Park franchise, to be honest. And then you also have the evil guy that's really not even that evil. Like every Jurassic Park movie has to have some corrupt guy who just wants money as the villain. But in this case, as soon as he's recruiting people, they already know what they're into. And somehow he's the only evil one because he wants money. Even though they're going to go through the danger of getting these dinosaur blood samples and whatnot. And then they try to force him into being the villain by having him not save the teenage girl when she almost falls off a boat. Well, she actually does fall off, but she survives. It's not even a huge deal. He is not that evil for that. It's kind of justified in that situation. Was he a hero for not saving her? No, but was it a big deal? Not really. So you actually do get quite a bit of good dinosaur action and destruction on the island. I think the horror aspects of this movie are done very well. Although maybe towards the end, they went a little bit too far with the dinosaur being this crazy mutant. He was like the next Pokemon evolution of the alien. But like the other Jurassic Park movies, everything's done in a predictable way where you just know which characters are going to die and which ones won't. Not once throughout these 7 movies have any of the main characters anyone actually cared about died. None of the kids in any of these movies have died either. Not that I want to watch a kid get eaten by a dinosaur though, or anything like that. It's always the side characters that are barely given enough screen time, and the main characters are like, oh no, our friend just died, but the movie is not trying to make you invested in them. And then of course the main villain has to die at the end. And in every situation, whether or not the person dies literally just depends on if the dinosaur is going to decide it's stupid or actually kill them. This franchise has the most lame plot armor out of any franchise ever, and it's just very annoying. And the ending really annoyed me because it actually had me thinking for a second that the Duncan character was actually going to die because he was sacrificing himself to save the others.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, I was actually 75% convinced they were actually going to do this for the first time in the entire franchise. They were finally going to kill off one of the main characters. Then it kind of just goes off screen and somehow he returns out of nowhere. It's not even explained. It is the most lame thing I've ever seen. So this movie actually does have some really good VFX, although admittedly in some parts the dinosaurs still don't look as real as some of the dinosaurs in the original Jurassic Park from 1993, because they were also using animatronics and that kind of stuff. But I think the cinematography and all that stuff is actually done very well. There's also some really cool lighting in these different parts of the forest. I think this also has some of the best costume design. I will say this though, there is something I don't like seeing every 5 seconds on the screen while watching this movie, and that is the insane amount of product placement. I mean, they're just advertising every candy in this movie. It gets to the point where in the climax they have to go inside an abandoned gas station so they can advertise every single candy and soda that ever existed. So this is just a typical Jurassic Park score where it doesn't have John Williams doing it, but it's just pulling from the John Williams theme. And for what it is, it's very good. So at the end of the day, I found this movie to be a little bit generic. It doesn't really do anything to expand the story of this franchise, but at the same time, it's not anything too terrible. If you just really enjoy these types of dinosaur movies, you're going to enjoy this one. So overall, on the quality scale of 0 to 100, it gets a 75%, and I would recommend it if you're a huge fan of this franchise. If you've seen it, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.